Ladies and gentlemen, I know this video will not be accepted by Hebrew, Jew, or Gentiles, but I am only giving you the wisdom given unto me. Saying that, allow me to ask you a question, gentle YouTube strangers. When you read Isaiah 29:11, what do you perceive? I perceive the book is still sealed to Israel, even though we have street preachers screaming through bullhorns and cats in white hats saying the most abominable things imaginable about the book. I know you are talking crazy at your computer screen right now, but allow me to explain. Isaiah 29:11, quote, "And the visions of all," stop. It doesn't say some visions, does it? But what does it say about the visions, y'all? Let's continue. Quote, "is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed, which men deliver to one that is learned." Stop. Question. Who do you perceive this is talking about? It can't be talking about any dispensation of time other than the present. Why? Well, let's just say the prophet Micah, Nahum, Jeremiah, Zephaniah, Habakkuk, Ezekiel, Daniel, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi, John the Baptist, the Messiah, the apostles after the Messiah opened their eyes to understanding of the scriptures, minus Paul, obviously, and even the guy who saw the Ethiopian tax man reading one of the prophets. All had understanding of the book. We know it's not talking about any time during our hard bondage because the prophecy says it was taken to someone that was learned, meaning someone that was given slivers of understanding in Babylon and are now teaching the people. Yeah, it's talking about you and you and you and you and you. Now that we have established who it is talking about well, let's read the rest, shall we? Quote, "saying, read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I cannot, for it is sealed." Stop! The Tanakh is still sealed to you, Israel. I know it to be true because I hear the nonsense when I peruse your video channels. I can stop right there, but for decency and order's sake, let's continue, shall we? Quote, "and the book is delivered to him that is not learned," the followers, the laymen, "saying, read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I am not learned. Wherefore Yah saith, for as much as this people draw near me with their mouths and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their hearts far from me, and their fear towards me is taught by the precepts of men." Example. That last part is another indicator this prophecy is talking about this dispensation. Why? Because our ancestors were living our heritage, triumphs, downfalls, and punishments, and were talked about daily by those who experienced it firsthand. When I research the things you guys say, guess what I find? Some Gentile has already established the same doctrine way back in the 1800s. Yet, you want to spew your venomous regurgitation as though it was new or improved. If the white man go for it, you know it just gotta be bad. Duh. If you have been teaching the same thing for the last 20 years, when do you think the evildoers will start killing you for the message? Thinking they're doing their God a favor. You guys have given the white man and the Israelis your best shots. Yet, you still huff and puff, and they still walk by you yelling, "Jesus loves you." The problems manifest themselves when they finally, I'm talking about the people, escape your camp's clutches and start researching on their own. Why? Because their perception of information is funneled through the wayward doctrine. Thus, they are off on wild goose chases, and most damning, trying to fit history and the Tanakh into their doctrine instead of allowing the Tanakh and history to dictate the doctrine. I see and hear it daily. This is the only generation who has some recollection of who they are, the learned, and still don't know the full ramifications of their wayward actions. We are thinking Yah is asleep and don't see the Judas ghost teaching falsehoods as though the book was unsealed to them among the sheep. I can just hear a sister now. Why should we believe you? Don't! I told you that before. Research it for yourselves. I pray and learn daily. And what I glean, I promise to give it to you. Nothing more, nothing less. Besides, that's why I refuse to call myself or take on the responsibility of a teacher. This book is revealing itself to me just like it is revealing itself to you. So take those mean thoughts back, sister. Take them back. Take them back. Okay. We all know the book of Daniel is sealed until the end days, so any established doctrine that predates the modern era should be labeled false by reason of the prophecy itself. Let me read that again. Any established doctrine that predates the modern era should be labeled false by reason of the prophecy itself. Besides, if you look at the book of Daniel with a different perception, it seems it was talking about more than Daniel's scroll was supposed to be sealed up. But on another note, but definitely within the same song, I have a theory about the book of Daniel. Am I the only person to notice Daniel was told to seal up the book with a semicolon? Well, let's read it, shall we? I'm reading from the Tanakh. Daniel 12:4. Quote, "And you, Daniel, close up the words and seal the book until the time of the end." Semicolon. We know what's next is referring to the beginning of the sentence, right? Let's keep going. "Many will run to and fro, and the knowledge will increase." Example. If I am reading this correctly, the book is sealed because there will be people trying to unlock the mysteries of the book. I know I've said this before, and I will proclaim it again. Do not believe scientists, I'm talking about the Nobel Peace Prize quality, when they say they do not believe in the Tanakh. What would be the law of compound probability? They are creating the exact same things in scale and nature the Tanakh explains in detail. Remember, the Nobel qualified scientists are mostly Talmudic Jews, men and women. And everybody knows those cats are off into major witchcrafts. These demon avatars are doing nothing more than reverse engineering everything written in the Tanakh. Everything from space is bendable to different dimensions, to wormholes, to different foundations of the earth, to another ocean under the earth, and to their most recent discovery of the universe is finite and not infinite. Think about it. The Tanakh was explaining the earth's jet stream for both air and water, while the Gentiles still thought the earth was flat. Think about it. If they will dwell off into numerology and try to break a Bible code, don't you think the science wing of these demons are doing the same breakdown? The book is sealed, but Yah will allow them to think they actually cracked it. With that delusional knowledge, the laws of physics will alter the earth's course, and from the spiritual to the physical, the earth and the heavens will be shaken and calamities will ensue. So, the book is sealed not only to have prophecy fulfilled in us losing our heritage, but also for our sake, because the evildoer's wickedness never rests.